Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. It is Saturday, May 6th, so you know what time it is. It's Wax Gaming Weekly Recap time, where we try and go through all the updates from this past week and anything coming up next week in 10 to 15 minutes or less. So let's go ahead and jump in there. We're going to go ahead and start off this weekly recap with our sponsor for the day and also a huge update that's happened for the Alcor exchange. If you're not aware, they went ahead and they implemented version 2.0 of the liquidity pools. They also made some updates to the UI, so it looks a slight bit different on the swap side, but the liquidity is completely different. If you're not familiar with this, I did a video on it earlier this week as far as the concentrated liquidity and how it's a lot more efficient than the old way of doing liquidity. In addition to that, yesterday I went ahead and dropped a how to use it within the Alcor exchange. It is a really cool thing that they've done with it as far as making it more efficient. I'm out there, I'm going ahead and I'm testing a number of different liquidity pools because I'm really curious because they claim it's up to 4,000 more times efficient than the old way of doing it. So I have some out there and just letting it go over time and really matching it up to some of the other exchanges and liquidity pools that are out there, really to see how it does match up compared to those. There's some tweaking that has to go along with it, but it's a really interesting way of going from basically there's just an infinity, from 0 to infinity range, to reducing that to really reduce your risk and also, again, make it more efficient. So it's a really neat thing. I encourage everybody to go out there and take a look at it, see if it's the right thing for you if you want to go ahead and put any liquidity in there. Again, I'm not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research. But go ahead out there and check it out. Again, Alcor Exchange, their liquidity pool has been updated to a version 2.0, really focusing on more efficient transactions. All right, next on the list, we have Avalon. We got a number of big things coming up for Avalon. I'm going to go ahead and do a whole video on this probably tomorrow because there's a lot going on with Avalon. Even though they're on hold basically with their alpha, opening it up on weekends, they still are doing a ton of work to really get this ready for beta at the end of the year. And really some cool things that are coming up. First of all, keep an eye out on Atomic Hub. They have partnered up with Avalon roughly around, not saying the exact date because it's not finalized, but roughly around May 17th, they're going to be dropping some big items on the Atomic Hub. First of all, there's going to be a new alpha pass that's coming out. It's going to be about a month long, and it's really along with the promotion with Atomic Hub. So you'll be able to go ahead in there if you haven't had a chance to test it out there. I don't know anything about prices or the number that will be available, so just keep an eye out on Atomic Hub. In addition, around that time, they're going to go ahead and drop the new King Arthur epic rarity character is going to be dropping out there soon. So if you want to go ahead and do that, he's pretty cool because, first of all, King Arthur, who doesn't like an awesome tank, but he's also shape-shifting. He has the ability to go ahead and shape-shift. I believe it's into a werewolf, but I could be wrong on that. It might be a dragon. We've seen some clips, but it's really kind of unclear what he shape-shifts into. But it's just neat that you have that ability to shapeshift. Plus, if you love playing a tank, this is going to be the tank in Avalon. Templar's also a bit of a tank, but this is the true tank that's in Avalon. In addition with that, I heard yesterday that they are moving forward in the process with Epic Games. They passed a huge milestone this past week, so they're getting much, much closer. So they could be on Epic Games as soon as a month or so from now. An alpha game on Epic, an Alpha 3 Web 3.0 game on Epic, it's huge for Wax. There's very few games that are on Epic for Wax. I can really only think of one off the top of my head. So this is a big promotional move. Plus, they also have that agreement now. They're going to be moving into Binance. So I can't say enough about that. That's why I'm going to do a whole video on this tomorrow. I've already probably talked a little bit too long on it. Next on the list, we got Wombat Season 10. Season 10 just kicked off this past Wednesday. So if you're in Womat Dungeon Master, make sure you jump in there, start going down that well of wealth and getting all your rewards for it. In addition to that, they also, I think I mentioned this in last week's video, for Dungeon Worlds, they went ahead and they dropped the training aspect into that. So now in Dungeon Worlds, you can do two things. It's still, again, very basic. You can mine and you can train. The majority of the functionality is coming up here in the next month or so. So they're just trying to get pieces out there to really test it. I think the next one on the list is going to be breeding. So that'll be interesting to see how that all works out. In addition to that, they've also released the WAM Play desktop version to the public. So now you don't have to be a VIP or whitelisted to go ahead and test it out. And until I think they have about 2 weeks left, if you go in there and you report a bug or you find a bug and you report it, you have a chance of getting some NFTs. Definitely worth checking out. So keep an eye on Dungeon Masters, Dungeon Worlds, and WAM Play from Wombat. All right, on the list we got FGL. We got a couple updates from FGL. Season 5 for Outlaw Troopers also kicked off this week. They did a very short preseason to give you really a chance to, if you're new to the game, really prep and get ready for it. And then they kicked off the actual season on Monday. I hope you're all testing it out. If you're not, definitely something worth checking out. So that's kicked off. That's going to go on for a couple of weeks now, and lots of great rewards. They have weekly rewards, and then they have seasonal rewards, and they've added a lot to the game this season. So definitely check it out. I've made a few videos for it. I have a few more how-to videos coming up here in the next few weeks. Also from FGL, we have Mecca World. Mecca World is currently doing a dice tournament all the way to May 8th. And this is essentially you have to pay a fee. It's 100 FGL to get your mecha in there. But then you can go ahead and you play the game multiple times a day. And what they've said is if you win and you get points, basically at the end, even if you don't get some of the prizes that are for the higher ranking players, you can exchange your points for FGL at the end. So as long as you win like 1 or 2 games, you're making your FGL back. So it's definitely worth taking a look at. As you can see, there's 30,000 FGL that they're giving away, plus 3,000 in wax and NFTs. It goes all the way to May 8th, so it's not too late to join. It may be too late to get one of the top tier in the overall rankings, but you can still win some rewards from it, just from the FGL perspective. Plus, it's fun. It adds a new aspect to the game, and it's basically PvP versus other players. Also from FGL, we got Cosmic Clash. They kicked off week number 3 for Cosmic Clash. That also goes until May 8th, so keep an eye on that. Again, they do weekly rewards of wax, and they also do the seasonal rewards, which is NFTs and FGL and stuff like that. So definitely check those out. As I've mentioned in the past, if you're playing Outlaw Troopers, it makes sense to also take a look at Cosmic Clash and Mecca World because their NFTs do come in Outlaw Troopers. So there is that intermix between the games, and also obviously the tokens used between all 3 games. Next on the list, we got Farming Tales. 2 big items from Farming Tales. They also have an event coming up here, kicking off tomorrow, May 7th, the Tractor Race Tournament. And I can't overemphasize that the rewards for this tournament are epic. Some of the best rewards, the biggest rewards I've seen from an event so far. It is the first true multiplayer tournament that Farming Tales is doing. They've had the Tractor Race open for some time now, but this is the first tournament and multiplayer competition that they're having in there. And if you take a look at this, the top 10 in the tournament are going to go ahead and get some really cool rewards, especially number 1. You're going to go ahead and get an Alien Worlds land. If you know the value of Alien Worlds, it's pretty decent as far as the lands go. You also have some other great rewards from FGL, from Farming Tales, Taco. Forsaken's got some prizes in here, so there's a lot of cool prizes that are available here if you have the entry fee, which is it's steep, and the reason it's steep is because the prices are also steep. So you can go ahead and join it if you're in the game. I'm going to go ahead and join this because I think it's super interesting, and I want to win. I want to win some of the rewards. I probably won't because I always flip my tractor. That's a whole other tangent we're going to go on later. Also from Farming Tales, starting yesterday, technically, they are going to be going through and doing a number of updates and patches to Farming Tales, doing some quality of life additions, and then they got. Their focus is going to go ahead and start shifting on to some upgrades throughout the environment. So it's some things that we've been asking for some time, but they've been just so focused on getting new wax chester out there that these have kind of been pushed aside, but they will be coming. So yesterday they did a patch, really just kind of upgrading the trade menu, On Friday, May 26th, they're going to go ahead and add the mini map in there. I know that's been requested by a lot of people because a lot of people still have trouble getting around the map on New Waxchester, which is understandable. It's huge. And then after they get through those 2 patches, they're going to start going through and focusing on a lot of things. Some of the highlights from this, the booster system, which I know a lot of people are interested in. This one I like a lot. Employees. You can actually get NFTs to employees to harvest your farm, which I think is going to be huge. And also the greenhouse leveling system, I think is going to be very interesting. So a lot of cool things that are coming here in the future for Farming Tales. And it's nice to see that they went ahead and updated the roadmap there. Next on the list, we got a Nook Studios. They actually did a drop, not necessarily a drop yesterday, it was a blend yesterday. We've been asking a lot. They mentioned when they first sold the hard drives that you're going to be able to do a blend to upgrade rarities. So that is now available. The price is less than I expected. I really expected the price to be a whole lot higher to go ahead and upgrade these to higher rarities. In addition to that, they also have Alien World decorations that are coming out that will actually provide you a TLM token. It's kind of like another miner that's in the game. And then something that a lot of people have been asking for is expansion, because right now we only have 3 tables in the game. There's a whole nother floor underneath that we're going to be able to expand into. Basically, you're buying that floor and then you're renting out the tables. So you'll be able to expand quite a bit because they have a lot more miners that are going to be coming out here in the near future. So we're going to need the space in order to do it. Also, last, the radio NFT. Not something I'm super interested in because I don't really listen to the music that's in NFT games or any games really. But I know there's a lot of creators out there that are making music and selling them on, whether it's Wax or a different platform, that could really take advantage of this. So it's a neat addition. They've also started talking about doing that in Farming Tales. All right, Taco's Twop is now available in the mobile app, the app utility, which is great. I'm glad they finally put that in there because I use it all the time. Nova Pangea, I think I mentioned this last week, but I wanted to bring up again. Town Hall level 3 is available, so you can go ahead and if you're staked enough in there, you can go ahead and upgrade your Town Hall to level 3, and also allows you to upgrade your buildings and your skilled workers to a higher level, so you get a lot more production out of them. Realm released their schedule for Season 8. This is kicking off on May 15th. Again, it's a long season, so we got a lot to go through. But they have 2 global events that are happening again this season, a number of weekend events that are going to be going on also, so I want to make sure I called that out. So if you're into Realm and you're ready for Season 8 to come out, make sure you have everything in place by May 15th, because they did make a lot of changes to the season. They have a new collection feature that I need to read up more on. So it really emphasizes having a full collection of different things. Colonize Mars. They have colony developments coming out there. So keep an eye on that. That'll be interesting. So you can start putting those together in the game. And then Our Planet. This actually happened probably about a week and a half ago. The Alpha 2, the one that I did a whole video on earlier in the season, finally completed, got down to 150. The rewards were sent out on Binance, which I think is interesting, especially for, I think most players are playing on Wax, so it's an interesting choice there. But I'm sure there's some background that I'm not aware of. I only made it to about 200, a little higher than 200, maybe 210. So I didn't make it in the top 150, so I'm a little sad about that. But it was fun. The season went a whole lot longer than I expected it to, but it was a fun alpha that we went through there. And then last but not least, Million on Mars had an interesting collaboration that they put out there, only because I'm also doing a lot of videos on Sunflower Land. I didn't realize the connection there until I was going through the announcements prior to this video. So this is just more of a, hey, that's interesting. Million on Mars, Sunflower Land doing a collaboration. All right. Whew. Got through a lot of information. I hope you all enjoyed that. Let me know down in the comments below, did I miss any announcements? Are there any games that I should really be keeping an eye on? I know there's one game that's going to be mentioned in the comments, and no, I'm not doing it. You know which one it is. But other than that, are there any other games out there that I may have missed, or any other thoughts or updates that you want to go ahead and announce? I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.